Hello everybody, my name is King Rico and today I'll be going over a full boss guide for Prometheus. I will be going over all of his attacks. I'm gonna be telling you how to prepare for the fight and then what to do in the fight. And then we're actually gonna be fighting Prometheus to show you kind of how everything goes together. So let's start with the moveset. The first move is a kick, where Prometheus throws a spinning kick, and the enhanced version of that move is then he throws another kick, which sends a wave of fire sweeping ahead of him. This one's pretty straightforward. When you try to dodge it, you're gonna see him face a direction, he's gonna kick, and then if the fire comes, it's gonna be going the same direction. So for this one, I would say just pay attention to which direction he's moving into and get out of that direction. Next we have the barrage, which is Prometheus throws several short-range punches. So if you're close to him, it's not really gonna hit, but if he does the enhanced version of the attack, then each one creates a fireball that moves quickly with strong tracking properties. So each one of them will home onto you, so you kind of need to dodge them no matter where you are in the map. Next we have the screw upper, which is Prometheus throwing an uppercut, and the enhanced version of this attack creates a flaming tornado in front of himself that persists for a few seconds and draws Millenoi if she's nearby. So for this one, it's very important to dodge this because the tornado is going to be sucking you in, and if you get stuck in there, you're going to be taking damage the whole time, and that's obviously not good. So whenever you see him throw it, just move out the way. Nova Strike. Prometheus punches the ground, creating a small shockwave around himself. The enhanced version creates a large circle around Prometheus, and then it ignites, dealing damage if the border is crossed. This persists for a few seconds, the fire that gets left over. And pretty much, you're probably going to notice a common pattern here. It's you want to stay away from it. You want to just get out of the way and not get hit by this. Then one little note, Prometheus you probably notice has 3 different phases, from 100% to 66% health. He's going to have longer intervals between attacks, but those attacks will always be enhanced. So the second thing that I've mentioned for all the attacks, that's what's going to be happening in the first stage. From 66 to 33% health, Prometheus combos 3 of those moves together, the third of which will be enhanced. So he's kind of moving a lot quicker. You know, if you stay close to him, he's gonna combo you, but you don't want to do that. And then with less than 33% health, Prometheus may either do a single enhanced move or a 3-move combo, so he kind of mixes it up to throw you off. During combos, he will use a very fast dash to move around the arena instead of his normal movement. So you probably noticed this, that he kind of comes up to you really quickly. When he does that, just try to get out of the way like as soon as possible. Just kind of like save your dash, and whenever he comes up right next to you, just get out of the way. Okay, and then something that I want to also go over is his intermediate moveset. So these are attacks that happen once in a while in between his normal attacks. So the first set of attacks that I went over were just his normal baseline attacks he just does all the time, and these he does them once in a while. So the first one is Eruption, where Prometheus charges up an attack, displaying an indicator of the attack's area of effect. After a few seconds, he discharges a wide blast of fire that starts directly in front of him and slowly extends towards the edge of the arena. So this one, really important to time it properly and get the attack to go off in one corner of the arena. Because if you put it in the middle of the arena, the fire is going to persist, and as you're trying to dodge the rest of his attacks, you're going to inevitably run into that fire. So it's very important to try to get this attack to hit on the edge of the arena, so you don't like go into that area. The other one's the Ring of Fire. A red ring appears around Millenoi with a smaller blue ring inside. It gradually gets wider. Once the rings are the same size, they stop for a bit before erupting in a flame. So for this one, it's really important to get the timing right. And you basically just have to watch for that flame ring getting bigger and bigger. And the second it gets bigger, you just kind of need to dash out because it's going to be tracking you the whole time. But at that point, it just gives you like 1 second like for you to dodge, and then it just comes down with some fire. So it's very important to just time it out, pay attention to what's happening, and then when 2 rings meet, dodge and sprint out the way. And the next attack are reinforcements, where Prometheus summons 4 different minions to the corner of the arena. These enemies, very important, are immune to damage, attack only once, then leave. So you should ignore them. You should not be trying to kill them. They're not gonna stay there for too long. They're not gonna do much of anything. They just get 1 attack and they're gone. And very important, this attack does not happen in the first phase. This happens once he's down to the second and third phase. But the most important part about this attack is to just get out, just ignore them, don't attack them, still throw all your attacks into Prometheus, and then move on. Okay, then as for his special moveset, this is probably what a lot of people die to when they see Prometheus, because they don't really understand what's going on here. And that's called the Inferno Attack. This is where Prometheus, by the way, he always uses the attack twice in every fight. Once at 66% health and once at 33% health. It's very noticeable what happens during this attack. Like, he jumps out of the arena, you can't attack him. He zooms the camera out and displays indicators at the top, middle, bottom of the arena. And there will either be 1 or 2 indicators in each set. And it'll display 3 sets at 66% health and 5 sets at 33% health. So as he goes down in health, he'll be doing more of these attacks. After he's displayed all the sets of the indicators, he'll send massive, extremely damaging waves of fire sweeping across the arena in the same pattern he displays the indicators. The damage, I want to say, is about 150 to 200. So if you get hit once, you're very likely to die. If you get hit twice, you're definitely going to die. And then once he's done with the attack, he'll jump back into the arena as the camera zooms back in. And then all the persistent flames left by other attacks disappear as this attack begins. So you're gonna notice here that the arena kind of clears out. He jumps out. He shows the different markers with the red zones. Then the fires happen and during those times. And for this one, it's really important to actually get the timing right, because if you're not memorizing the pattern, you're just gonna be dodging. And by the way, you can dodge the fire. Like, that is just an option that you have, but it's kind of hard and tricky to do unless you know exactly what the timing is. So the best piece of advice I can give for this attack is to memorize not the pattern of where the attacks are going to happen, but to memorize the pattern of what the safe zones are going to be. So for example, let's look at this attack. It's going to show red zones at the bottom, and it's going to show it in the bottom top, and then it's going to show in the bottom middle. Those are the red zones. So instead of focusing on that, let's think of what would be the easiest way to dodge the attack. So what are the safe zones? So the first time, we're gonna have the middle and the top to be our safe zone. So I like to always start with the middle. That's kind of like my default, because if I'm in the middle and then if there's something shifts later on, it's very easy for me to move up or down. So I try to stick to the middle as often as possible. So since again, the first one has a red zone at the bottom, I want to stick to the middle. Okay, so when I see that, I say out loud to myself, middle. Then I'm seeing the red zones in the bottom and the top. So again, the middle is the safe zone once again. So this is awesome, I don't have to move. And I say out loud to myself, middle. And then at the last one, I see that the bottom and the middle have red zone. So the only safe zone is the top. So then I say out loud, top. So then as I'm going through this exercise, I go middle, middle, top. And then that's the way I'm going to move, and then I should be able to dodge the attack. Next, there's Aetos. That's the eagle companion of Prometheus. He does 3 attacks, and they are spin, where Aetos spins in place, dealing damage in a small circle. Strike, where he dashes at Melinoi, inflicting heavy damage and a short stun if it makes contact. And then there's the air blast, where he shoots 6 blasts of air in a hexagonal formation centered on itself. Again, very important, Aetos does not take any damage. You cannot kill him. So the best strategy of dealing with him is just to get out of the way. Particularly at the very beginning of the fight, you're gonna notice that he always dashes towards Melinoi right away. So the first thing you do, I know a lot of people's instinct is just to get as close as possible to Prometheus right away. If you do that, Aetos will hit you. Do not charge him right away. The first thing you should do is to dash out to the side and then move your way up. Maybe you want to attack, maybe not, maybe just kind of like out, just wait Aetos to get out, because he's gonna do 3 attacks and then he's gonna be gone. and he always ends with the air blast. So the second he does it, you know, he's gonna disappear, and then you can really focus on Prometheus. Okay, for the Arcana, let's go in the game to actually talk about what you should do. Okay, so for the Arcana, let's talk about this stuff. So at the beginning, you need to make a decision of whether you want to pick Death or Strength. And they both have their own merits, and they both kind of have different ways of playing the game. If you're really struggling to survive against Prometheus, I would recommend to pick Death. You're gonna get more time in the fight, you're gonna get more time to notice the different patterns, the timings, and so on and so forth. So this is really good if you're just really struggling and just dying all the time. Obviously, if you're trying to kill him as fast as possible, that's different. Now you want to pick Strength instead. So just keep that in mind when you're doing this. Strength is also typically way better than Death. Speedrunners use it to beat the game because the damage boost is huge. You just kill stuff way faster, so that's really nice. But if you're just like a novice, just trying to learn to fight, again, pick Death. Next, let's go over the Lovers. Very important because it, again, lets you survive more hits. That's always good. And in the same breath with that, pick Persistence. Again, extra health is always nice. As you're running throughout the night and you're trying to get to Prometheus, you have to beat 2 other bosses, 3 different worlds. Your like survival is really important, so you should definitely pick the Wayward Son to get heals in between rounds. And pretty much, what else do you want? Origination is your most important Arcana, I would say, because of how much damage you can get out of this. Like you have to pick this if you want to have any sort of chance, honestly, of finishing him like pretty quickly. And then if you want a more consistent build and you know what you're looking for, you kind of have to pick the Enchantress, the Boatman, and the Champions, so you can get the Fates as well. This is really important because this is gonna help you re-roll for different boons, and you'll be able to get a more consistent build. If you don't know like what are you looking for, I would say you could honestly just pick the Boatman because the gold's always nice, and ignore these other 2 for now. As for the other ones, I would say pick Eternity, since it's really helping you, like, again, like getting those extra 1.2 seconds, like just speed, you know, everything's moving slower. That's really nice. The Huntress, getting extra damage is always good. The Sorceress, just to get faster Omega attacks, is really nice. And for your last one, I mean, honestly, you have a couple options here, but the one that I would probably prefer would be to do the Furies along with the Messenger and the Swift Runner. So you do this all together, or if you don't like these 2, do the Knight, you know, get extra damage. And with all this together, I would say this would be a pretty good Arcana build for if your goal is to survive during a fight. If you're trying to deal as much damage, I would change quite a lot. Like if you're more experienced, you don't need this. You don't need, actually no, you do need that. You don't need this. You need these 2. And you don't need that. Trying to figure out what else would be useful here. I guess these 2 would be nice. Yeah, if you're more experienced, this is the Arcana that you want. Because you're focusing on damage, origination, and strength. You want more consistent builds, you know what you're looking for. This is very powerful. And then you have a bunch of other stuff that just kind of helps you out. So this is it for the Arcana. So the best weapon to use would be the Staff, and specifically Aspect of Momus. And there's 2 main reasons for this. One is that it lets you keep your distance, so you can spam specials, and Prometheus should not be able to hit you most of the time. And 2, the Omegas are a great attack for phase transitions. You probably noticed that every time Prometheus does his Inferno Attack, when he jumps out the screen and comes back, well, specifically when he comes back to the exact same spot every time. So if you just charge an Omega and it's just gonna wait for him to be right there, you can just hit him and just get some damage for free. So it's really nice to have the Omegas do that for you. As for the pet, it really depends on what your goal is. Most people, you're probably trying to survive here, so you should use Tula the cat since it gives you an extra death defiance. It's really nice. And if you're trying to deal more damage, definitely use Rocky the crow because the extra critical percentage is really nice. As for the keepsakes, when you're starting your run, you would like to take one of the keepsakes that gives you a specific god boon. Personally, I really like the Aphrodite one. And then for the second world, you could switch it over to something like the metallic droplet, so you can just get it over the area a lot quicker. That is, if you know what you're doing. But when you get to the third world, to Olympus, this page right here is what it's talking about primarily here. It's just what keepsake do you want to use when you're facing Prometheus himself. The Luckier Tooth is your best survival option since it gets you another death defiance. If you don't like the Luckier Tooth for whatever reason, you can also pick the Knuckled Bones since it deals some extra damage to the boss and it gives you more damage reduction. If you really want to deal more damage, you could pick the Evil Eye. Like it's a good damage option, but it's really inconvenient to trigger. Like you have to have died to Prometheus before, and if you can't do that, like it's just not worth it. And if you did a strength build, you have to pick the Gorgon Amulet. It's basically a must-have since it gives you an Athena boon. It makes it way easier to survive all of his attacks if you can deflect stuff, and it's just really good. As for the boons, my strongest piece of advice is to get the Athena dash, or honestly any Athena boons, since the deflect can help out a lot. The Hermes slow projectile boon is also really useful because you probably noticed he has a lot of projectile attacks. And as always, get 2 curses for origination. That's kind of, I would say, a must-have for any build in Hades, any good build at least. I recommend using Aphrodite and Apollo. Aphrodite because the weakness can help you survive and just stay in the fight for a longer period of time, and yeah, Apollo's pretty good too. If you like using the Selene boons, the Moonwater heals are a must. And if you actually get that, you need to upgrade as much as possible because those heals are some of the strongest things in the game. It's honestly crazy that they're allowed to be in the game. But yeah, just healing yourself back up, it's gonna help you stay in the fight for a lot longer. Okay, so now it's time to fight. Let's put together everything we talked about and showcase the fight with Prometheus. Okay, so here I am about to fight Prometheus. This is my build. Like I said, I have the Astromomus weapon. I have Tula as my companion. I have 5 different death defiances since I have the Luckier Tooth. I do have the Selene heal. I have the Phalanx shot, so I have a deflect. And this is basically what I have here. You know, I have some STS special, and I have the Aphrodite attack, so I can trigger origination. So this is, I would say, it's a pretty good build. It's about as good as it gets. So let's just jump into the fight and kind of show you what to do. Okay, so the very first thing is you're gonna throw Aetos at me. I just need to dodge. So boom. Okay. Okay, he's chasing me. He's doing his kick. Okay, this is, I want to trigger to the side. That's good. Okay, see that dodge? Okay. Alright, now the most important part. Okay, bottom, top, bottom, okay. Incinerate. And then it's important. I didn't. Okay, I'm gonna try and get my free damage over there to the card. And boom, okay. I'm gonna heal up a little bit. Getting a little too close, so I should put some distance. Okay. It's good. Let's see, bottom, middle, up, middle, okay. Bottom, middle, up. Doesn't matter. The projectiles are a lot smaller. Oh, oops, almost got caught in that. And there you go. And I didn't even die once. So, it's pretty good. Well, that is it for this video. If you enjoyed it or if this information helped you defeat Prometheus, please leave a like. If you would like to see more Hades 2 content, please subscribe.